everybody, it's Rachel here, and today I'm going to be filming for you guys a Top 5 Wednesday video. And it's been a minute since I did a Top 5 Wednesday video. I just haven't been able to keep up with them, and there have been so many good topics. So I decided to go ahead and see what the June topics were, and actually this topic for this week is something that I'm really excited about. If you guys don't know what Top 5 Wednesday is, it was a group that was created by Ginger Reads Laney, and I will link her down below, and I'll go ahead and link the Goodreads group down below if you guys are interested. But this week's topic was your top 5 books with multiple POVs. Specifically books that have multiple POVs, so not just a girl and a guy, but multiple perspectives in it. And I thought to myself for a really long time, what books do I have? What books have I read that have multiple POVs? And I was actually really excited when I started to browse that some of these books are my favorite books ever. So this is the topic for me. Just a disclaimer, I love all of these books so ridiculously much that I can't even say I can't even really put them in order. But if I was going to, this would be the closest order that I have. These are all pretty much 5 out of 5 star books for me. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get this started. I will start with really quickly an honorable mention. It is not in my top 5, but I do really enjoy it. Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. This has multiple perspectives in it. You've got Selena, you've got Kale, you've got Dorian. You got a lot of perspectives in here. I really enjoyed this book. I have kind of a couple of issues with it right now, but I really did enjoy this book, so I was going to go ahead and give this an honorable mention. Coming in at number 5, I have The Kiss of Deception by Mary Pearson. This is a young adult book that I read and really loved. You have 3 different perspectives in here. You have our princess, our runaway princess, and you have a prince and an assassin, and I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the multiple perspectives. I enjoyed the kind of secrecy, mystery of the book. If you guys don't know what this is about, this follows our main character, a princess who has been betrothed to a prince from a faraway land, and she decides that that's not the kind of life she wants to live. So she runs away with her kind of maid type person, maiden waiting, whatever you want to call them, and she runs away. And then it also follows 2 different other stories, an assassin who has been sent to kill her, and the scorned prince who she was going to marry. And you don't know which one's the prince and which one's the assassin until very far into the book, and I was wrong about who was who, but I really enjoyed this. I really loved the story aspect of it. I thought this was a lot of fun. And now the next 4 books, I can't really put them in order. I'm just going to go ahead and show them to you. Coming in at number 4, whatever, is going to be All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I read this book last year in November for a read-along that I was a part of that the live show never came to fruition with. But I read this book at the behest of so many people, especially Jenny and Reagan and Max, and I cannot tell you guys how much I loved this book. It is told in so many different perspectives. You've got the main character, the little girl, you've got her father at some points, you have the boy in the stories, you have backstory for it. You have so many different perspectives in this story, and it is so wonderful. This is a World War II story following our main little girl character, Marie Laure, and a main male character named Warner. And this is, like I said, in World War II. The beginning of the story is told in dual perspectives. Warner as a Nazi youth, and Marie Laure has escaped from the town that has been invaded by the Nazi Germany, and she goes to Paris, I believe. Like I said, although the main story is about Marie Laure and Warner, the story is still told in multiple perspectives. Most of the chapters are very short, but this story is so immersive, so beautiful, so breathtaking and heartbreaking. I absolutely love this. It was a 5 out of 5 star book for me. I highly recommend this. Delilah. Coming in at number 3 is The Martian by Andy Weir. This is one of my favorite books ever. This book is amazing. This was my first foray in kind of to science fiction, and I can't get enough. I am sure you guys have heard about The Martian, but pretty much this follows our main character named Mark Watney, and Mark Watney was accidentally left on Mars after an explosion that his crewmates believed him to be dead. And now he's gonna kind of have to survive until he can find a way to get in contact with Earth so they can go and rescue him. This book is so good and told in so many different perspectives. You've got Mark's perspective, you've got Earth's perspective, you have the media's perspective, you have the crewmate's perspective, you have NASA's perspective, so many perspectives and so many great such great dialogue. I love this book so much, and I can't wait for the movie to come out. In fact, the teaser trailer just came out for it, kind of like a early look into it with Matt Damon introducing the crew, and I'm so excited. I love this book so much. If you guys want a quick, fast-paced, can't put it down book, I highly recommend this. This was amazing. I read this in the span of like a day or two. It was so good. All the perspectives are really great. I highly recommend this. Coming in at number 2, we have Written and Read, also the other 2 books in the trilogy or the series by Anne Bishop. I love this book. I love Anne Bishop's writing style. Written and Read is a fantastic book. I read this on the recommendation of Lindsay and Sarah. I love the second book. I just love the story altogether. I have not read Vision in Silver yet, but I am really looking forward to it. But I have read the first 2 books. If you guys don't know what the story is about, this follows our main character named Meg, and Meg is a blood prophet, which essentially means that if you caught her, she can prophesize. So this makes her skin very desirable. At the beginning of the story, she is in a compound and she escapes and finds solace in this courtyard with the others, and there are the kind of indigenous shapeshifters, vampires sort of thing there. And this is told also in multiple perspectives. You have Meg's perspective, you have Simon Wolfgard, his perspective. You also have the perspective of different characters throughout the story. It's mainly Meg and Simon, but you also do get other characters, which is really enjoyable. At one point in this one, you get the perspective of kind of the bad guys, and it's really good. I really enjoy the story, and even in the second book, you have multiple perspectives, and I think that adds a lot to the story, not just having two storylines, all the different storylines that come together to give you this one amazing book. I highly recommend Written and Read. I highly recommend this series. I can't wait to finish the third book and then wait for the next book in the series, but really good. And number 1, my number 1 book with multiple perspectives is going to be The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. I listened to the audiobook for this and it was phenomenal. A+. I love the narrator for this book. It was fantastic. This is a really interesting story. This follows pretty much a main character named Melanie, and Melanie is a very special little girl, and the world she lives in is very special. There's these things called hungries, which are essentially zombies in here, and they play a pretty important role in the story. But more than that, the story is really character driven, and although I did have a couple of problems with the ending, I still really enjoyed this. You have so many perspectives in this story. You have the perspective of Melanie, you have the perspective of a soldier, a kind of captain, guard, sergeant dude, you have the perspective of a scientist, you have this perspective of so many different characters in the story, and they are all so good. I loved this book so much. I don't ever see anybody talk about this book, and I'm seriously like, why? More people need to read this. This was phenomenal. I did a full review on this book. If you guys want to check it out, I will leave a link for it down below. This was amazing. I highly enjoyed it. It was, seriously, this was going to be on my top books of the year. It was amazing. I absolutely love this, and all the perspectives help so much to bring the story together, even if Melanie is the main character. And yes, those are the top 5 books for the books with multiple POVs. Have you guys read any of these books? What are you guys' favorite books with multiple POVs? Go ahead and let me know down below. And other than that, guys, thanks so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!